So that was when I decided that I'll sort of reverse engineer this process. Instead of having to go through the interview process where I would be given a problem statement, I decided to come up with an existing problem statement with one of the popular ride hailing apps at that time.
Welcome back to Engineering Ajkal. Today we have someone really interesting with us. He started his engineering journey in BITS Pilani. He has also worked on some interesting projects, one of them being Hyperloop. His name is Prithvi Shankar. He has co-founded Arwood Stack, a boarding pass app, and he is currently working as associate product manager at Ola. So, Prithvi, tell us about yourself. What is this whole journey like? From where did you start, and how has it become to what it is today?
I was really keen on design and technology, right? And that is what took me to engineering in the first place. And over the course of my undergrad, I sort of realized that I wanted to be somewhere at the intersection of design, business, and technology. And that is what really led me to eventually, take part in various prize incentive competitions, hackathons, case studies, so on and so forth during college, and then ultimately take up a job as an associate product manager. To be very honest, I mean, I wasn't really involved in core electronics or the field of instrumentation as such while in college, right? Although my decision to sort of take up electronics as a discipline, came more as a rebuttal to my dad's pressure of take up mechanical engineering, and because he was a mechanical engineer himself. So I said, you know what, like I'll do something else. And that's the reason I took up electronics. It wasn't anything special.
You studied at BITS Pilani, which is one of like the top engineering colleges in India. So, can you tell us about the whole college experience, committees that you were part of, and like anything regarding that?
And as soon as I joined BITS, I realized that Pilani being such a remote city, you sort of end up living in this bubble of only your batchmates and your professors, and the real world was so much farther away from you. So I took this opportunity. So there were things like fests, college placements, so on and so forth going on. That was when the actual outside world would interact with the town of Pilani. I was part of the department of sponsorship for our college fests, and that was the first time I sort of got an exposure into the field of marketing and creative design, right? And eventually, in my final year of college, I was also involved with the placement committee. Uh, Although I'd opted out of the placement process myself, I also wanted to get an understanding of the placement scenario. What are the companies that come to recruit freshers? What are the skill sets that they look for in freshers? So that was what led me there.
Talk about the Hyperloop project. So, you were part of this when you were in BITS. So, first of all, tell us about this opportunity. Like, how did you get it? Like, how did you stumble upon it, basically?
This was around 2013 when Elon Musk had sort of made this announcement for a completely new mode of transport, dubbing it the Hyperloop, calling it the fifth mode of transport. Right. And sometime in 2015, he sort of introduced this concept of a 1 mile long test track that SpaceX was going to build in front of their headquarters, and invited university teams from all over the world to submit designs for a scaled down Hyperloop pod prototype, which could eventually be tested on that test track. Right. And this was fairly exciting to us back then, right? And as you know, Elon Musk is one of those people who, as an engineer, you would want to be somehow involved with the man's ideas, right? And let alone meeting him in person, you want to somehow get yourself involved with whatever he's doing. So that was how it started. So we decided to take part, and ultimately, and over the course of about a year and a half, fortunately, we made it through to the finals as the only Indian team and among the two teams from Asia. And eventually we made it all the way to Hawthorne, California, met the man, and presented our pod prototype to him. So that was a great deal for us.
So, like, you were a co-founder of Urban Stack, which is like a boarding pass app. So, first of all, tell us about this thing.
After coming back from the US, taking part in the competition, one thing that we realized that we could continue working on the Hyperloop, but I think that project was pretty much 10 to 15 years, ahead of us. So what could we do in the meantime that could sort of help fix existing problems in the Indian transportation infrastructure? So one thing that we realized was that the current public transport infrastructure was broken, right? The experience wasn't as seamless as traveling by Uber, and that is the reason why a lot of people move from using public transport to opting for single occupancy vehicles, right? And that was when we decided that we'll build this solution, which was digital boarding pass app that could seamlessly work across both public and private modes of transport to integrate both the payments as well as act as a GPS tracking device to make the whole transport infrastructure more on demand and predictable. And there was this competition organized by World Resource Institute and Toyota Mobility Foundation called the STAMP Challenge Station Accessibility and Mobility Program that we ended up winning. So we got this grant to do this pilot project in Bangalore. And we moved out to Bangalore for about a month, pulled off this pilot, and then we also got an interest from the Delhi state government. So that was when we moved back to Delhi and then started working with the transport authorities there. But what ended up happening was that things weren't moving as fast as we had expected them to, and especially in something like transportation infrastructure. I think since we are dealing with government bodies, they typically tend to be risk averse, right? So that's what ended up happening there, and the entire team got demotivated, and we moved on to pursue higher studies and take up jobs.
So you're now working as associate product manager at Ola. So first of all, Hyperloop, OpenStack, these are all transport related. Then you plan to join Ola. Was it like intentional that I want to be in the transport area?
It was slightly intentional, right? Because I think mobility and payments, these were two areas that I was really interested in, right? And but actually, when I started applying, I wasn't really focused on a particular sector as such. So when I started reading up about product management roles, I ended up realizing that there is no set of quantitative assessment that you can take for a particular individual to decide that he's the perfect fit. More often than not, you judge that person by giving them assignments and by trying to understand their problem solving skills. So that was when I decided that I'll sort of reverse engineer this process. Instead of having to go through the interview process where I would be given a problem statement, I decided to come up with an existing problem statement with one of the popular ride hailing apps at that time. So I created my own problem statement, broke that down into what users actually need, and proposed a couple of solutions, and designed this feature deck. And with the help of this deck, I sort of reached out to a lot of product managers at various companies, including Inmobi, Cred, Ola, Uber, etc. And ultimately, I got the opportunity to interview with most of these firms, and I ultimately decided to join Ola Money, which is the fintech vertical of Ola.
Because you right now are like associate product manager at Ola, and you're specifically focusing on Ola Money. So tell us exactly, like, day-to-day routine. What does a product manager do, like, and what are the things, probably the tools and service that you get to use on daily basis?
There is no average day, in the life of a product manager. But typically how it works is, in the morning, you sort of sync up with your business team, try and get an idea of how the business performed the previous day, and then get a sense of what are the problems that need to be tackled, and then move on to attending your daily engineering stand-ups to try and get an idea of what your engineering team is up to, what is getting released, and what requires some certain amount of intervention. And then you move on to having discussions with your marketing and your design team to try and understand how you can build out certain features or capabilities. And yeah, I think that's about it. And of course, you do end up writing a lot of documents and working on a lot of Excel sheets. That you look at data, you try and gather requirements from various teams, you put that together.
So what are the major skills does a product manager require to do their job perfectly?
So I think there are certain things that can definitely help. Like being from a technical background definitely helps, right? And in understanding how these products are built, and not just that, design is also an important aspect of a PM's role. So having some sort of hands-on experience with tools such as Sketch or Figma, Illustrator, etc., also helps. Another thing is, I think what is more fundamental is how you look at problems, and what kind of metrics would you look at in order to gauge the success of a particular feature or a capability that you've rolled out.
So, okay, thank you so much, Prithvi. I am damn sure whatever you have said is going to help students who of the future, and it will help them gauge their own path and understand their mistakes and learn from it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.